If I gave you a $450,000 budget to buy a house in New Braunfels right now, where would you spend it? Most people move into a new city. They start by looking at homes, usually online. They're asking, where can I find a house that I like with the right number of square foot, right bedrooms, bathrooms at the right price? Then 6 months after they move in, they start having some buyer's remorse, wishing that they were in a different community. Because the reality is, like most cities, a $400,000 budget can get you a completely different experience depending on where you purchase. And the same thing is true for 500, 700, and on up. So if you're wondering where your money goes the furthest, which neighborhood fits the kind of lifestyle you want, and ultimately which areas might be the best fit for you, stick around because today we're breaking down New Braunfels by budget, from 300s all the way up to luxury and acre properties. If you don't already know, I'm Eric McArthur, a real estate agent here in New Braunfels, helping people buy, sell, and invest and relocate all over Central Texas. And after helping countless people find new homes, one thing always remains the same. Everyone's hopes, dreams, and needs are all different. Some people want peace and quiet. Some want to be near restaurants and shopping. Some want land. Some want brand new with less worries. And some actually hate the brand new because they want trees and character that the brand new doesn't really offer. One of my jobs as a realtor is to help people discover what's right for them. And sometimes it's something that they didn't even know that they really wanted until we really just start to dig into the process. So if you'd like a personalized recommendation based on your specific situation, feel free to call, text, email anytime. All my contact information is down below in the description. I'll talk more about this in a video later on, but main thing to know about New Braunfels is where the school dividing lines are, because for a lot of people here, that is a really important piece to the puzzle. North of the Guadalupe River is actually Comel ISD, and high school kids would be going to Canyon High School. South of the river is now split with the addition of Long Creek High School on the east side of town. So all of the schools on the west side of town are still unicorns, while everything east of 35 are now the dragons. Again, in a town like New Braunfels where tradition runs deep, this is something that actually really matters for people. Okay, now let's jump into looking at some homes starting in the $300,000 range. And to do that, I'm actually going to pull up the MLS and we're going to look at the map of houses that are currently on the market right now. This search is for single family houses with at least 3 bedrooms, and I've actually capped this one at $350,000. I feel like that's actually a little bit easier, better break at this moment right now. For the most part, you'll see that the majority of the homes are on the east side of 35. And I know this actually looks like it's on the south side because of the way that 35 turns through this area, but I would still classify this as the east side of 35. Off Highway 46, you've got quite a few neighborhoods that are in this price range. And if you saw my last video about the pros and cons of New Braunfels, you'd know that I'm not a huge fan of this area because off 46, there's a ton of traffic, but also the road noise from the dirt trucks and all the cars, they make a ton of stinking noise. You know those cars are super stinking annoying. So I used to live over there and it was quite annoying. So that's just me. Okay, so let's talk about this other area over here off of Walnut real quick. Most of these houses closer to 35 in this area right here, they were built in the 80s. So what you're going to see typically in these homes is 8-foot ceilings, smaller closets, and smaller bathrooms. My former in-laws actually used to live in this neighborhood right here, and I've always loved this neighborhood because it's got some really cool trees, and the houses aren't just normal cookie-cutter homes that you get now. Homes are around 1,500 to 2,000-ish square feet. Of course, there are larger homes, but that's probably going to jump you up into that next price bracket. When you jump across County Line Road, a lot of these homes were built in the early 2000s. So you're going to start to see 9-foot ceilings, more open concept living areas, and larger bathrooms and closets. And it's definitely worth noting that like much of the homes on the east side of 35 throughout Central Texas, there tends to be foundation issues because of the type of soil. Not as much rock underneath the soil as there is on the west side of 35. So just be mindful of that in this area if you start to look in there. A lot of these homes in this area, you're looking at 1,600 to 2,000 square feet for around $300,000. You're also going to see a lot more builder basic kind of finishes as well in this price point. There's actually even some houses in this back section of the neighborhood right here where you can find homes in the low to mid 200s right now. But that particular builder, which for me has become known as the L word in my house, is making some really crappy houses right now. And you typically get what you pay for. And personally, I think what you get from that L word builder, it's Lennar, is pure crap. Not worth buying, even if that was my only option. Just being honest. When you get to the $400,000 to $500,000 range, you have some homes available in 3 different master plan communities. All of these homes have been built within the past 5 years, and there's still new construction options still being built right now. Over in Veramendi, these would be homes built by DRB, formerly known as Brightland, and Guillen before that, and also Pulte. They're going to range between 2,000 to 2,500-ish square feet. And then if you want to be a little further out from town, there's Myers Ranch. It feels like a whole lot further than it really is. It's about 15 minutes further out. But you're going to see homes from 2,000 to 3,000 square feet with builders from DRB, Chesmar, Tri-Point, and even Highland at this price point. Then on the complete opposite side of town, there's Mayfair, which is brand spanking new. At this price point, you're going to find homes from Scott Felder, David Weekley, and Toll Brothers. I'm not totally sure what I think about this neighborhood just yet. It's right off 35, which is good and bad. There's really nice builders in here, though, with some really nice finishes. If new construction isn't your thing and you want a neighborhood with really nice mature oak trees, then you're definitely going to want to check out Oak Run, right off the loop. Built in the 90s and the 2000s, you'll find homes in this price range from 2,000 square feet to just over 3,000 square feet. Then there's this really small little pocket of homes close to Creekside called August Fields. There's some really nice homes in here, but I did just discover that they built one street of homes in a flood zone. So buyer beware. Of course, if you're looking at homes in any kind of river town, it's probably wise to double check a flood map before you get too attached to a home. Now, getting into the $500,000 to $600,000 range, you're going to have options in a lot of these same areas, as I just mentioned, but then you're going to start getting either larger homes and or nicer finishes along with that. Okay, inside the loop. This area is a super sought after area, and it's the area inside the loop 337 and 35. And you're going to find a huge assortment of homes in this area. You're looking at historic homes from the early 1900s, both big and small, from $250,000 to $3 million. A tiny 900 square foot home from the 50s. A 2,500 square foot home from the 70s with some really awesome views. Then you got modern construction homes as well. Basically, you got homes from every single decade. Some that are fully renovated and some that need a little to a lot of love. Now, if you're someone who wants a little more land, there's actually quite a few communities that will offer 1+ acre lots. There's a small pocket of acre lots out by Green. Then over here in Vintage Oaks, most of the standard lots out here are 1 to 3 acres, like this modern 3,800 square foot, 4-bed, 4-bath Perry home. There's a mix of custom to semi-custom builders from 2010 to brand new homes. And prices for 1+ acre lots out here start around $800,000 and they go up to around 1.7. On the other side of town off Highway 306, there's River Chase and Havenwood, where the average lot size is also about 1 to 3 acres, but it can actually go up to even 20 acres. This neighborhood started development with all luxury custom homes back in the 2000s, and you can still build a new home in there today. Currently, homes are starting around the mid 600s, going up to about 1.2 million for one of those average 1 to 3 acre lots. As you can see, there's a wide variety of neighborhoods and price points. Of course, depending on that price point, that may lock you into a fairly small area. But looking at pictures and homes and even the area itself won't always give you a sense of what that area has to offer. So I always encourage people to drive around to different areas and to different neighborhoods and actually explore them. Also, make sure you prioritize things that matter most to you and your family. While you may need to sacrifice some of your hopes and dreams along the way, try to find the area that fits as many of your biggest lifestyle needs as possible. That way, in 6 months down the road, you aren't feeling buyer's remorse, wishing you had explored an area that may have been a better fit. Sometimes getting a house for the same amount of money, or one that might just be like $100 or $200 more, and it actually is a better fit. There's no way to go into all of the areas in this amount of time, but hopefully this video gave you a little better understanding of what different budgets can actually get you here in New Braunfels and what areas might fit your lifestyle best. If you're having any questions about other areas, or you're thinking about buying a home in New Braunfels, San Marcos, or Central Texas, feel free to reach out anytime. You can call me or text me at 512-826-7100, and I'll also put all my contact information down below in the description. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I make videos every week breaking down what it's really like to live here and around Central Texas. I'll see you next time.